Good morning and welcome to the Dynasty Acres Ranch. At the Dynasty Acres Ranch, our aim is to ensure that we produce quality livestock with adequate technology and solution for a revolutionary agricultural system here. So currently we have about 400 animals on the ranch, but our niche is mainly around cattle, like we have cows, and we also have additional 250 acres that are dedicated for planting of crops or feeds for the animals all across various parts of the southwestern part of Nigeria as well. Currently here we have about 29 staffs working on a daily basis to maintain the landscape and also the welfare of the animals. And we have 2 resident veterinary doctors that help us with the health needs of the animals on the ranch as well. We are also trying to create more of an ecotourism center here where people can come around and see how these animals are raised and all other animals are being domesticated from being a wild animal to be a ranch animal. Team building activities can also be done on these 93 acres of land that we have around here. This ranch also supports over 7 communities that we have across the entire place where we are now in Iloti. So the town has about 7 other communities ranging from Ekpe all the way to Ijebu-Ode that comes all the way down here, and we support them in terms of our community engagement and empowerment and provision of jobs as well. Have they been behaving? Tom. This place is for the female cows that we are using for the crossbreeding program. So we have a Osun Ekiti bull that we cross, which is very the origin of them. They are mainly from Denmark, and they are mainly milk production cows. So what we are trying to do is the local Nigerian cow, the Sokoto Gudali or the Bokolos, we are crossing them with that particular cow to produce hybrid cows that in the future could give us a minimum of 25 to 20 liters of milk on a daily basis. Because cows take about 9 months for them to be pregnant, and within 9 months we need to make sure that they are of good health and a good state of mind for them to have a safe delivery. So that's why we have resident doctors and go around as well. So you have the baby horses that we are breeding as well. So these are 2 female horses. They are about 6 months old, and we're currently putting them on you can see what we're feeding them with. So once they've consumed this as a minimum until they finish this, they will not be allowed to go out, because this will give them a balanced diet. Protein and everything is there, it's core protein. We have matured horses as well, but most importantly is for us as a ranch to continue to flex between using technology and modern day technology to grow what we have. There are other sections of cows. So we have our 3 pens here. There's a pen for the male cows. We have pen for female cows, and then we have pen for cows that we are fattening for sale. Then we have paddock outside for we have about 200 cows in there that are actually going for sale during this festive period. Some of these animals as well, no matter how much you feed them, they can't grow past their size genetically. Just like if you have a dwarf, feed him 12 times a day, it will still be a dwarf. So what we do is we use their genes to identify them, and then we sell them on. Snailry is one of the things that is growing quite a lot in Africa now, but majority of people feel it's low maintenance, to be honest. We started with only about 15 snails. Then at a point, I end up getting 100 snails for 30,000 naira. Put them all together, and before you know it, they turn themselves to something else. And every month, I will just take 15 out of them for food. We just eat 15 out of them and leave the rest. So it's that number that I've been producing and reproducing till now. So it's one part of the business that is easy to start, because what they consume are basically vegetables and leaves that grows around the ranch anyway. These are African dwarf goat. African dwarf goat. Some people will tell you in different parts of Africa or Nigeria that you can only breed these goats. You can't breed them on the floor directly. The experiment that we have done here have shown that it's a lie. As long as the environment that they have is very clean, they can breed anywhere. You can breed them anywhere. And they have to be in a controlled environment. Don't say that because you have a big land mass, you are going to release these goats to go all over 94 acres of land. When they eat things that they're not supposed to eat, you will not be there. And that's when you have mortality. So the numbers that we had from beginning is still the numbers that we have, and nothing has happened to them. All right, so here we have our stables, and here in the stable there's the donkeys there. We have donkeys. They are basically used for we use them for the movement of goods or feeds. When we go out to cut grasses for the cows, they help us with carrying goods from one place to the other. The reason why I'm not making them come out is, you see that food, that protein I'm giving them, if they don't eat the protein, if they don't eat their daily balanced diet before they go out, it's not good. Because they will be busy eating food that will not add anything to their health. But with this, I can be assured that they will not have unnecessary drop in weight, and they'll be well behaved. The reason why we tie their force is because these two horses, they are racing horses. If you want to chase them, you will not catch them. So these are the two camels. We've got their white camels, which is not as common as the other brown set of camels. Camels are unique. Them, they don't drink water every day, but they only drink clean water. Camel will never drink water that is dirty. You always find the clean water and drink. You don't mind staying for 1 week before you drink, but the water must be clean. There are pigeons, there are peacock, ducks, hens, guinea fowl. See? They have the freedom to fly away and come back. And the ones that are already laying eggs are kept here. And the reason why we keep it here is because of all these eagles that are around the farm. You don't want eagles coming to eat the chicks. So you have a lot of all these scorpions, small snakes and co. So that's why you need all those birds, dogs, peacock, because they will feast on them definitely. All the animals here, they have the right to fly away, they'll come back. They can fly away, they will come back.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Olabisi. I'm the veterinary doctor in charge of the farm. This is our goods section. We also have a few cattle around here. We valued the health status of our animal. We value our customer in terms of health. We ensure that the animals being consumed by our customers are healthy and wholesome. As such, we make sure that the vaccination are up to date in our animals. Our treatment are also up to date. These are the section for the small ruminants. We have sheep there and we have goats there. We also make sure that their health is very, very important, that we take care of their health, we monitor them. On a daily basis, we check their health status, we look at how healthy they are, and also we ensure that our vaccination is up to date, especially diseases that can either be of zoonotic importance or diseases that can hinder or that can deter their meat quality. We have vaccinated them against PPR, we have vaccinated them against anthrax, and we also ensure that we control drug resistance. We don't allow our animals to be on continuous antibiotic or drugs. As such, we monitor how we take care of them in terms of their health, in terms of drug administration. We don't just administer any drug. We check first when they are sick, that is when they are administered drug. As they are now, they have not been given any drug for over 2 weeks or 3 weeks now, and they are healthy. That is what we do here, and we value our customer to such extent. So, day 2, we have routinely treated them. We don't allow them to come having to get sick before we treat. What we do is what we call prophylaxis. So we have routinely treated them for about 3 weeks ago, and since then they have not been on any treatment because we don't want what we call drug resistance or drug residue in their products. So these are the males that we have here. They are also on zero grazing. They only move around here, and then we provide food for them.
My name is Balikis Ajishefindi. I'm in charge of cleaning and feeding department. We start the drying here. Once the cassava peels is dry and crunching, then we use it for our feeding. This is how we feed. We feed with grazing. We feed with green grass, dosa, and banana leaf peels. This is our grass here, where it's being cutted, then we grind it. Once we grind it, this is our banana leaf. We mix together with it. Here, it has been packed. We packed it into the sack, and this is our dosa. We have already packed it too. We are ready to die. This is our dosa for the horses, and this for the bull and the cow. We mix our feeding together. Once it's that, we do zero grazing here. We mix with the cassava peels, dosa, and banana leaf. All we mix it together. Then we use it for the feeding, for the cows.
Thanks for the visit today. By the time we come back for the next visit, definitely you've seen this place pretty much more developed technologies, introduction as well. We're going to be creating a water park here, at the same time a family fun center, also looking at kiddies playground for small animals for petting. We're also looking at the breeding program for pettable animals.